The Crown is still dominating the headlines after its final season was released on Netflix. Some of its most explosive storylines include the dramatic inquest into Princess Diana's death, Prince Harry's infamous Nazi costume, and the Queen contemplating abdication.
Well, joining us to help sort fact from fiction is royal commentator Afua Hagan. Afua, the finale.
Yes.
After 6 series of The Crown. First of all, before we start talking about the fact from fiction, what did you make of it? Have you enjoyed the ending?
I have. I think these 6 episodes, they're almost like a completely different body of work from the first 4 episodes of season 6. Part 2 is much more like season 1 or 2 of The Crown, where we have the history of the time, the sociology, the political figures that were involved, all involved in the storylines around that time. Whereas the episodes 1 to 4 of part 1 of season 6 were much more just about Princess Diana, the 8 weeks leading up to her death, and of course the fallout from it. It felt much more dark and much more sad. But this part, even though it does have its sad moments, it has a very poignant, very beautiful ending, was much more like The Crown of old, and I really enjoyed it.
So I started watching last night. I'm captivated by that relationship between William and the King, with Charles, and the fact he just ignored him. He didn't want to know him, did he?
Yeah. See, part 1 was much more kind to King Charles III. This part, not so much, because in the aftermath of Princess Diana's death, it shows the boys struggling to form this relationship with their father, Prince William really feeling that his father was partly to blame for Princess Diana's death, both boys feeling like their father's just concerned about Camilla marrying that woman.
Although we see that he actually did distance himself from Camilla. They weren't ever seen in public for quite a long time after Diana's death.
Afterwards, just communicated, you know, via telephone. And the boys seem to be obviously very, very hurt by what's happened with their mother, but also by their father's part in it. And that really plays out in this season as well. And then, of course, you have the relationship between Harry and William, that Harry, from quite an early on stage, felt that he was just a screw-up and what the papers wrote about him and, you know, what was his role.
Willie good, Harry bad, basically, was the Harry narrative in it, wasn't it? We also had the introduction of Kate as a character, Meg Bellamy.
We absolutely did. And obviously in The Crown, let's just remind people, it's a dramatisation. It's not a documentary.
But it's very tricky to tell sometimes.
Not always.
I think it's easier in this part.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you have this scene that Peter Morgan and his staff have created where you have Princess Diana and Prince William on the street selling the big issue or supporting the big issue, and then you have Kate Middleton and her mum. They see Prince William and Princess Diana and they're like, look, oh my goodness, there's Princess Diana. And they go over and they donate money, and then William and Kate's eyes lock. And then that was it. It's beautiful.
Years before they meet at university.
Okay.
Yes, it's beautiful, but it's nonsense.
And the next scene, it cuts to Kate in her bedroom where she's cutting out pictures of Prince William, sticking them on her collage, if you will. Beautiful.
But also, when you watched that yesterday, wherever he went, he was mobbed by teenage girls, wasn't he?
It was giving Harry Styles, wasn't it?
Well, yeah,
but that was true.
It was
true.
And they cut, I don't know, was it
Diana's
archive footage they used in that?
Because I don't know whether it was real, but the teenage heartthrob that he became in the aftermath of his mother's death, and he really struggled to deal with that.
He did, and some of the footage that he used from the Canadian tour and the Canadian voiceover, that was some of the real footage.
That's what I thought.
And yeah, it was like Beatles mania, but for this young prince who had all his hair at that time. And, you know, the girls absolutely loved him. And of course, he had the appearance on the balcony at the Golden Jubilee, which in real life the crowds went mad for, and in The Crown they did as well. Another preceding storyline to that was that in The Crown, and not in real life, guys, in The Crown, Prince William watched the first part of the Golden Jubilee with Kate Middleton and her family. They had a little party and he was doing some commentary. Didn't happen.
It didn't happen. The timelines didn't even work. I don't think they were even together around the time of the Jubilee. There was sort of a merging of things for dramatic purposes, I think. Get a whole load of the story over and done with in one episode.
Well, and also,
he could never have driven up to London from Berkshire in the time to make it to the... But,
I mean, look, it's been a phenomenal success. Imelda Staunton has defended it, saying it is entertainment at the end of the day.
And she's absolutely right. You know, she's saying that obviously people who are offended by it have to realise that Peter Morgan is making this series for entertainment. He's making it for entertainment purposes. And you always have to have that in mind when you're watching The Crown. It's not an absolute documentary. It does take real life events, absolutely. It fills in the blanks, if you will, with drama and with these incredible sets, with these incredible actors, with this huge budget. And I think she's right to defend it. And she gave a great performance as well.
Afua, thank you so much.